Okay, hi. My name's Jim, Recovery Jim. This will be first video, just a little bit of an introduction just about me, who I am, and why I'm setting up a video channel on YouTube. My name's Jim, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm an addict. Alcohol's always been what I thought was my friend. Turns out it's not. I'd started drinking when I was 14. I had loads of fun with my friends. A lot of people do growing up in Glasgow in, the 90s. It's what we did. Went to the park, went to the shops, and I had stubble when I was 14, so I could go in and get alcohol, Mary Down, sometimes vodka, for feeling lavish. But yeah, we had good times. Obviously, we got into trouble, we got into shit with our parents, finding out if we were drunk, if we couldn't stay at a friend's house that was having an empty or whatever. All of these things. But, that was just normal growing up in the 90s. It was the lad culture, wasn't it? Oasis, all that kind of stuff. Everyone was doing it. It's not an excuse, because some people have, I suppose, an allergy or a disease or whatever. But for me, it was a gradual thing. I always enjoyed getting wasted. I didn't understand the people that, wanted to stay in control. For me, alcohol was always about just completely getting ripped, as drunk as I possibly could get. And then I would see friends that were kind of, compos mentis or whatever, and just having a nice buzz on. Nah, that wasn't for me. It got out of control, because, looking back, speaking to friends now, they always knew that I was the drunkest person in the room. The person that would kind of always still be standing most of the time at the end of the night, but not making much sense at all. And that's the thing for me. Throughout my 20s, jobs here and there. I did photography. I'll probably talk about that in a later video, but this is just really about where I got to where I am at the moment. So did lots of different jobs, but that was mostly just to get me money so that I could go out at the weekend and enjoy myself. I had different groups of friends, so that, if one group of friends wasn't going out, I'd always find someone. To be honest, I was not au fait with sitting in a bar, up at the bar, smoking my fags, ashtrays on the bar. You could do in those days, just chatting to anyone. That would be me. I wouldn't, barfly from an early age. It didn't bother me at all. The old guys just sitting there during the day or whatever wasn't a problem for me. I would pretend maybe I was going to college, get the bus into town, it'd be 12 o'clock, whatever, go and sit in a bar until maybe friends came out of college and then they wanted to get on it. This was just the norm to me. It was 20, it was 20 odds, I was having fun, and that's the way it went. I did move around the country a lot. I was born in Glasgow, moved to Aberdeen, that's when I started working in pubs, things like that. I did a bit of college there. Then from there I moved to Cambridgeshire. Again, did a bit of college there. Actually graduated this time in photography. Different jobs, but different groups of friends. I lived in Manchester for a bit. Then I moved to Isle of Man, working for a bank, weirdly. If they were the ones that caused the credit crunch that caused me to go back over there. But again, it was to get away from messes in my life that I caused through drinking. But to me, that wasn't a problem. That was just, well, shit happens in life, doesn't it? So I didn't ever think there was a big issue there. Yeah, I probably drank a lot, but who doesn't? That's the thing. It was just a little monkey on my shoulder always saying, nah, you've not got a problem, man. You just keep doing what you're doing. So I did. And I never escaped the alcohol. The alcohol was always there following me. I thought I was escaping it. Yeah, I'd do a bit of hiking, a bit of running, get myself fit. I could do these things, and it wasn't ever an issue. But these days I wasn't drinking daily. I wasn't waking up in the morning and reaching for a bottle before my eyes even opened. That happened on and off a few times, but most latterly, the last year has just been a real eye-opener for me. I left my partner, we were living together in Hull with our 2 kids, and I wasn't happy because alcohol does make you depressed, you know, and I wasn't working, so I was just fed up with everything, and I left her. I went to live with a friend. That didn't really kind of work out because I was obviously continuing drinking. I was just basically leaving her in order to feed my habit, so I could do it without anyone on my back giving me crap. My family and that all got involved, and I ended up in a recovery centre, a residential place in Blackpool. And while I was in there, the pandemic hit hard, and we went into lockdown there. So I was in my own little bubble with some fantastic people, because I tell you, this illness or disease or affliction does not discriminate. You know, every single person I met in there is, you know, salt of the earth. They didn't want to be in that position. They had to be in rehab, but they couldn't find a way out. And so, you know, I made some really good friends in there. Some of us, sad to say, you know, are still relapsing. I came out of there. I moved into a little flat of my own. It was still locked down. It was April 2020, so the weather was really good. In fact, it was May, I think, and the weather was really good. I was meeting my new neighbours. I had some money in the bank. My cat Poppy and me were just, you know, thought we were living the high life, and I relapsed, you know, and I did. I did it hard because there was no one really there to stop me this time, you know. No one was around. I'd burned bridges with my ex. I'd burnt bridges with my mate who I was staying with nearby. Burnt bridges all across the place because they didn't understand my issue. It was me. This was who I am, and you know, I couldn't be controlled, and all of this bollocks, you know. Anyway, it came to a crunch, and I was supposed to be coming over to the Isle of Man to visit my parents. I'd got an exemption. I ended up getting arrested, which again I will go into probably in another video. But I basically stayed in a cell for an entire day, withdrawing. Horrible situation. Eventually got home. No money, no nothing. I managed to get a bottle of wine the next day, which kind of settled me a bit. I managed to get my cat, my stuff together, and got on the ferry to come over to where I am now. I did 2 weeks isolation when I got here, because that's the law. Was feeling good, you know, went through my withdrawal. It was good to see my family. You know, they knew I had relapsed since coming out of rehab, but I was, you know, convinced myself, this is it. I'm going to get myself back on track. I've got the support of my family. And so started looking for some jobs. I thought, you know, I could really make a go of living over here. Wasn't much on, but again, the weather was beautiful. I could go out for walks, so I started doing that. And then I thought, I'll just get myself a little quarter bottle of vodka one day. That'll be a nice little buzz. I deserve that, you know. So I did that, and you know, anyone out there that knows what alcoholism is, you can't do that. I was kidding myself thinking that I could do that. So that became a half bottle, became a bottle, became me going for walks and then coming home and sleeping the afternoon off, and parents worrying and this, that and the other. And eventually it all came to a crunch again, and I left in my car. You know, I'd been drinking, went up to Point of Ayre, which is the northernmost point in the island. I don't really remember a lot about what happened, but eventually my brother did find me, and we went to the hospital to try and get a detox. And I wanted to, you know, I couldn't find a way out. I knew that if I got a detox and then got into some of the help, the groups and meetings that are available over here, then I could maybe really try and get back to where I was, because I didn't want to be this alcoholic. I didn't want to be the person that I become, you know, sending people messages and just really upsetting a lot of people and upsetting my family, which is the main thing. I didn't want to do that. So it took a few days. They tried to, they sent me home with an instruction to my folks to give me, it's quite an old school method, I think, of detoxing, because I was still too high to get, I was still too intoxicated to get the Librium that day. So they sent me home with a little sheet. I've got it somewhere, I think, and it basically said instructions to my parents to give me 40 ml of vodka 6 times a day, or maybe 8, I can't remember. It certainly wasn't enough. I do remember that it wasn't enough. My manipulation and my lying led them to believe that this was, yeah, I wanted to try this, but it wasn't enough vodka for me at the time. So I would do that, then I'd go out for a walk and top it up with some more, until again it escalates and you get yourself into a blackout state, or just fucked up and shouting at people and being a mess and an asshole, basically. So I then got into hospital and was admitted for 4 days, I think it was, which the first day I was sober on Librium was 19th of August, which is still my sober birthday, and it still stands to this day, which was 141 days ago now. Woohoo! I am so happy that everything that I'm doing at the moment is working. I'm going to meetings. I go to CA, Cocaine Anonymous, on a Monday. I was doing some SMART meetings, which is self-management and recovery training. Then I go to Narcotics Anonymous on a Thursday, which is, it is the fellowship. It's not AA, but alcohol is a drug, so they welcome you with open arms. There's no issue there at all with that. I've met some fantastic people in there. My sponsors in there, you know, and people get confused with AA and God and the fellowship. Now they use the word God, but it's as your understanding. Now to me, you know, I'm not religious, but to me, the God part of it, to me, is the universe. The universe is my higher power, and through it, I live. You know, I'm created, I'm living, and that is what, I suppose, to put into words, is kind of governing me. So I do believe that if I put good into the universe, then, you know, it will help me on my recovery and my journey, and it is, you know. The meeting's been fantastic for me. I wouldn't knock them at all. I know it's not for everyone, because the God thing does scare them, and it can be God if you're religious. It can be anything. It can be the universe, it can be the sky, the trees, the birds, you yourself. It can be whatever you want it to be, you know, as long as you believe in it, and then you believe in yourself on a second note after that. That is what helps you. I was on a thing called disulfiram for, I've only just stopped taking that, so I was on that through, you know, kind of over the Christmas period, I guess. And that if you look it up, it's antabuse. It basically makes you pretty ill if you drink on top of it. I have done in the past many years ago, but it was just a good, after my detox and when I came out, to start building on, it was a good base level for me to really start putting my recovery process together. My family, I feel like I've, you know, getting back to kind of normality with them. The trust is growing again. You know, friends that I've had in the past, some not heard from, you know, that's understandable. I was a bit of an asshole, a bit of a dick, but at the end of the day, you know, I know who my real friends are, the ones that have, you know, stuck with me and stuck by me. I have mended some bridges that I wanted to, and I'm happy about that. My theory is, because I do some Zoom meetings aftercare with my rehab group. We've now just got into lockdown. It's the first day in the Isle of Man of lockdown part 2. So we've got everything set up in Zoom now. I've got a meeting for NA tonight, and for me, essentially, it is try everything that is going to help you. Try everything you possibly can. What I say is, it's like spaghetti, throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Because, you know, if one thing's not working for you, don't completely knock it. Use different parts of it, you know. Some people just go to NA or AA or CA just to share because they like to talk about it, or even just to listen to other people. You know, I go because I love the people there. You know, maybe it was the right place, the right time, with the right people, but for me, that's working. And we've gone from, I think there was 5 people at NA when I first started 4.5 months ago, and now there's like 15 of us, I think. We've got a little WhatsApp group. We all back each other up. You know, if anyone's struggling, they reach out. We go hiking now, well, we did before lockdown. It's a great little community that I have. I used to think, wow, why would I want to hang about with a bunch of alcoholics or drug addicts, you know? But they're the people that get me, the people that understand me. That's why I have that Instagram page, Recovery Gym. It's, you know, to surround myself completely in people in recovery is a fantastic way to be, because everybody gets everybody. We understand the plight that we're in. We understand where we're coming from. We understand the problems that we've dealt with. When people in family go, oh, why don't you just stop drinking? You know, yeah, why didn't I try that? Thanks for that one. At least these people understand where we're coming from and why we can't just stop. Why we haven't tried that and tried that and tried that and it doesn't work. This is working for me now, and it's a mixture of the meetings that I go to, the support that I'm getting from my family, the Instagram community. You know, on that page, it's just fantastic. You know, I feel when I first started, I was reaching out to people and asking them, how did you do it? I got help. And now I feel, even though I'm still early days, I'm helping people just by being on it and showing my recovery one day at a time. And that's what it is. I'm going to stop talking now because I have gone on a bit, but thank you for listening. There will be a lot more of these as I start to build the content, but this is just really a video to kind of introduce myself. I am 40 now. I've been drinking since I was 14, and it's, you know, it's time to stop. I have stopped. I don't ever want to go back to where I was before because it was killing me. It is poison essentially, and there are some people, as we like to call muggles, that can go out and have a few drinks and then go home to the wife or husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, and that's them. I can't do that. If I have a sip, that's it, end of. It'll just take me into the deepest, darkest pits of despair, and I don't want to go back there. Anyway, like my page, share it if you want, and there will be more content added. Thank you.